Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Raptor X here with Good Clean Gaming RX, and today we are back in Star Citizen. The IFW, or Invictus Fleet Week, is currently up and running on the 319 PU, and one of the brand new ships is this one, the Mirai Fury. This is, as you can see, a little teeny tiny ship. So I rented one of these the other day at Area 18. They've since moved on and are no longer available to rent, but they will be back again, I believe, for the last day of the Fleet Week. This one's just been created, and so all of the different panels and all that kind of stuff work properly. You've got our little fuel tanks here. We've got some avionics. Some storage, which actually I'm not sure if that one works properly or not. But yeah, this one is, let's see here, power plant. It doesn't look like that one properly opens up. Oh, there we go. Power plant. Perfect. Opens up, and there's our little power plant right there. Close that one back up. We've got, let's see here, the shield generator and cooler are in here. Then we've got a radar relay right here, which, interestingly enough, looks like it's a proper component. Which I wasn't aware that was actually a thing yet, but apparently they've taken the trouble to make a radar and computer now on these. We've got avionics over here. We've got, let's see here, storage. There we go. So you can open this up and you can see there's a little tiny bit of storage, 60,000. It's about the same as a small backpack. Yeah, this is the Mirai Fury. It's got 4 size 2 laser repeaters by default, and it looks like 1, 2, looks like 3, 4 probably size 1 missiles. This is a snub fighter, and so it does not have a quantum drive on it. It is intended solely for loading onto a mothership, but because of the size of it, it's actually small enough to fit on really just about any small ship. Actually, I guess really any medium ship. The small ones, even like the Avenger Titan, I don't think it'll quite fit into there. It's close, but I don't think it'll quite fit. I haven't tested it out myself. I've only had this for a day or two. They are available to purchase, but I don't see a whole lot of utility for them personally as a solo pilot. And so I've elected not to spend the money. I'll wait until they become available in game to purchase one myself. A couple things you should know right off the bat: there are no weapons on it to start off with. As you can see, there are weapons, but you can't access them until you hit left Alt and K. And that will unfold your wings, and then once those are unfolded, you'll be able to hold my landing gear up. There we go, and then hit left Alt and K, and that'll unfold the wings and extend the weapons. There we go. So now I have the 4 size 2 laser repeaters, the Badger repeaters, which will do a decent amount of damage. It's got more firepower than the Merlin or the Archimedes. However, it also has significantly less shield hit points and I guess overall hull hit points. So it's not something that is going to survive many hits at all from much of anything. It does have quite a high straight line speed, and it accelerates very rapidly. You've got, as you can see, a 1249 or so straight line speed, and so it's quite fast. It's not quite as fast as the Archimedes or the Merlin, but it can turn really rather quickly, although even the rotation rate is not quite as quick as the Arrow. So it's interesting in that it's got a decent roll rate, and some decent straight line speed. Decent amount of firepower for a ship this size. It's intended, so they tell us, to be a swarm ship of sorts. But considering the very, very low hull health on it, I'm personally disinclined to use one of these. We took them out and did a little bit of PvP, a couple of my org mates and I, the other day, so that would have been, I guess, Saturday night. And they're halfway decent. They do a decent amount of damage in a small amount of time, but they just can't hold up against really much of any incoming fire. And as soon as you take really any fire, once your shields are down, they'll go into uncontrolled spins. All of the thrusters stop working properly, and it just gets into this spinning around little mess. And so it's a fun little ship. I'm not gonna say it's going to be particularly effective. You're gonna need large numbers to really make them worth doing much of anything. What have we got here? Phoenix Perpetuous, and he's in a reclaimer. Yeah, not gonna be able to take that one on. I was hoping for a little bit of PvP here, to really test out some of the firepower and some of the tactics and stuff that you can use. But it doesn't appear that we're really going to be able to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and we'll just do like a little bit of racing here, and we'll see what we can do. Actually, I might get into global chat here and just see if anyone is interested in trying out against them. So I'm going to pause here, be back in a sec. Okay, so we've got a fellow here, Nom Chomsky, and he's agreed to do some PvP. He is in a Gladius. I'm not sure exactly what the loadout is, but we're going to go ahead and give it a shot. And we'll see how this will hold up. Alright, so he's up here. There we go. Go ahead and get lined up. And away we go. Alright, good. So he's flaring. I'm going to go ahead and give this a shot. And there we go. Okay, so That's kind of against a Gladius. Nom seemed to be a pretty decent pilot. The Fury actually has got some pretty quick turning around. But as you can see, I did take a little bit of damage here. I've got a major torque impact. And the ship itself appears to have fared pretty well. But I've taken a little bit of engine damage. And that's going to make it a little bit hard to do really much of anything in this one. So it still flies pretty decently well, and is quite capable. It does, as you can see, put out a decent amount of firepower. Was able to eat through the shields on the Gladius in really just a couple of seconds once I connected. However, it's going to require some very, very fine handling of the shields and power and weapons, so that you don't take too much damage. Because even now, I mean, I've got a little bit of damage now to my ship, and like response turning and all that kind of stuff is a little slow. I don't think it's steering properly. Got here another reclaimer and the Andromeda again. So yeah, quite a fun little ship. It's definitely in the hands of a good pilot, or even a halfway decent pilot capable of doing some damage. I don't think it's going to have the staying power of a Gladius or even an Arrow, simply because as soon as your shields go down and you take any sort of decent amount of damage, that's about all she wrote. There's no quantum drive in it, which means it's only good for deploying out of another ship, and then you're limited by the amount of fuel that you have in your tank. Just that little fight there has eaten up, oh goodness, has eaten up probably close to a quarter of my fuel. They're incredibly touchy as well. Go ahead and pull my landing gear out here, and we'll go ahead and set this down very gently. There we go. I'm going to see what that was, how much damage that did there. Let's see here, 35 LVUC worth of damage, so not a whole lot. But even with just that little amount, it was enough to make my flight performance not quite what I would want it to be in top form. So overall, I do like its maneuverability. The fact that it's a pretty small target compared to a light fighter. The fact that it does have 4 size 2 laser repeaters on it means that you can put out quite a bit of damage versus any of the other snub fighters. But it comes up short in top speed, and just the fact that there's no quantum drive on it is gonna make me probably definitely not gonna purchase one with real money, and I don't think I'll be getting one, or definitely won't be using it a whole lot if I do decide to get one with in-game money. Fun, but not really something that you can use every day, and because there's no quantum drive, very limited in range. So, alright, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. If you've liked this video and would like to see more of my content, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button, and I will see you all in the next video. Take care, everyone. Ta-ta.